there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
Alright, let me preface this video by saying I love my Nintendo Switch. I am so happy I bought it. But, you know, Nintendo have just been doing some things that royally make me angry. Really, like, there's no excuse for some of the stuff they're doing. Well, first of all, I want to point out something. My Nintendo Switch actually broke. Kind of. My left Joy-Con doesn't even stay on there. Like, I don't get how you can make a design choice like that where the Joy-Con just doesn't even stay on properly. But that is not why I'm making, actually, kind of the reason why I'm making today's video, because I have a lot to complain about Nintendo. My friend over at Derek's Game World, make sure to go check him out and subscribe. He kind of made a video response to my video, kind of, where I talked about the Nintendo Switch Online and how that sucks.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Everything just binged. That was so weird. But, I wanted to put my 2 cents in on everything, because I've mostly been talking about online when I talk about Nintendo doing stuff wrong. And, you know, I think there's a lot more that just people aren't saying, which, to me, is kind of confusing. And, so, yeah, let's just get started. So I think the first thing, the main inspiration for this video is I was talking to my friend David, over at Rail Mango, about the Black Friday deals that Nintendo is doing. And, you know, that's what made me want to do this video, because, you know, Black Friday deals are supposed to be ways to get people to buy your stuff, you know, for kids, for people, and, you know, like, basically giving, like, you know, I mean, overall, the deal itself isn't that bad, but just, like, usually when you see a Nintendo system on the shelf, it's $300. So, marketing that you're having a Switch system, granted with a game, but nevertheless, for $300, it doesn't feel like a deal. It really doesn't, especially when you're not getting a physical game with it. You're just getting a digital game with the system. So $300 really doesn't seem like a deal. $250, I think, would have been a great Black Friday price for the Switch. And the thing is that they are only doing this bundle with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think that if they wanted to do a Black Friday Switch bundle, there's really only 2 games that you can do this with and keep it $300. And that's Super Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's no other games where you could still sell it for $300 and maybe it's worth it. It's these 2 games right here that would make that at least seem worth it. I don't even know if Pokemon would do it for this system. I really don't. And it is really unfortunate, because my friend kind of wants a Switch. He's really on the fence because Nintendo games just aren't his cup of tea. He likes Pokemon, and I think he would like Legend of Zelda, but other than that, not really his cup of tea. So, you know, he was looking for Black Friday, and of course, naturally, Nintendo being Nintendo, you know, freaking $300 for the Nintendo system. And it's weird, they had this whole Nintendo commercial thing with Luigi, you know, for the Black Friday deals. And, you know, it's so weird. That, so they offered the Switch, right, for $300. Then there was, like, the regular 2DS for $80, which I don't even think that really is a deal. But then they have, like, a Switch wheel for, like, 2 for $15. Why would you put that as, like, a main highlight of your Black Friday deals? Like, oh, I gotta make sure to race out and get those Wii wheels, or those Switch wheels. Whoop-de-doo, I guess? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, no one wants that. So yeah, Black Friday for Nintendo, really, and the 2 games that are really worth it on the Switch, these 2 games, I'll talk about every other game in a minute, but these 2 games are the ones that are the main highlights of the system. I think that right now, these are the only 2 great Nintendo Switch games that are from Nintendo that are purely, like, for the Switch, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So if anything, I think these games should have gotten some Black Friday treatment. It's literally only a day of sales, Nintendo. Like, it's not like you're dropping these down to $30, for eternity. If you did $30 for these games on Black Friday, the sales of these games would double. Okay, maybe not double, but because these games actually sold really well. But they would probably make people buy a Switch. If you sold a Switch for $250 on Black Friday, it's one day. Unless you want to do it over the weekend, so Cyber Monday, whatever. But that's still only a weekend. That's a great way to sell your system. I don't see Nintendo Switch sales going up at all this weekend. Maybe a handful. And by handful, I mean like maybe a couple hundred. But definitely not what they should be for Black Friday. They should this system's nearly 2 years old. It should be $250. Like, there's no excuse for this system not dropping for Black Friday for $250. It's really inexcusable, especially when the Joy-Cons just kind of come off like that. Maybe it's because I got a first edition system since I got it on day one. But does my right Joy-Con do that? No, thankfully my right Joy-Con's still good. But yeah, that's just ugh. Let me provide another reason why Nintendo. I know I've talked about this before, but let me provide another reason why Nintendo's kind of failing. Listen, all right. They're trying to sell games on 2 different systems. Why? They're both portable. What's the
Both commands are temporarily unavailable. Please try again in a few minutes.
Shut up. Like, I get it. The 3DS is a cheaper alternative to the Switch. I get it. But when you're releasing a third Luigi's Mansion game on the Switch, why not just release this on the Switch? And I'm not even talking about just Luigi's Mansion 3DS in general. I'm talking about every single 3DS game that's coming out now. Really Kirby, Epic, or Extra Epic Yarn, that's whatever. But I'm going to point out here, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story Remake. Why? Why would that even be on the 3DS? Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story came out on the DS. So you can play that on your 3DS. So what's the point of remaking a game that came out on the DS? Because it's really not getting that much of a graphical upgrade. And you get an extra mode? Bowser's Minions, whatever that is? Or was that Superstar Saga? I don't know. But nevertheless, is that, are we supposed to be excited for that? It's on the DS. If people like that game, they already have it on the DS, so then they can play it on the 3DS. Wasn't a smarter idea with that game to, give it a real HD boost and put it on the Switch? That game just confuses me. I don't know why it even exists. I really don't. Games like that and Luigi's Mansion really should have just gotten the HD treatment and have been put on the Switch. So like I said, with Mario & Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, that game was on the DS. Why is it going to release on the Switch? That's pointless. It is absolutely stupid and pointless. This game, God, you guys already know. The controls are awful in this game. That second thumbstick nub, it's horrible. Why would anyone want to use that? So, this should have been on the Switch. Bowser's Inside Story should have been on the Switch. They should just can't... The 3DS, I'm sorry. I know there are people out there who still play the 3DS, who still like the 3DS. But honestly, if Nintendo has now 2 handheld systems, and they're going to release games on only one and not the other, I'm curious on how this game is doing sales-wise. Because this is a game that obviously I bought because of the fact that I like Luigi's Mansion. And I don't know how many other people have bought it, besides people who don't have a Switch. And if that number is low, then that tells me that most people don't play the 3DS anymore. And they haven't released sales number for this game. And they have wait for it, they have for this game that only came out a week before it. So, these numbers got released maybe 2-3 weeks ago. Yeah, we haven't heard anything about Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. So that's telling me it didn't sell well. So really, that's telling me that not many people play 3DS anymore. Really. And really with this game, they didn't do much. They just added a cheap co-op mode. Wow. Alright, so let's talk about Switch games. So I'm going to show you guys my collection. And, I'm not really going to show you guys my collection. For some reason, I noticed that my copy of L.A. Noire isn't in here. But I will talk about something with L.A. Noire. Is this with Doom too? No, I could have sworn I had another game that had this with it as well. And I think Derek from Derek's Game World has the same exact thing with his copy. I can't play LA Noire. Why? Because it doesn't have enough storage on this thing. Now, credit where credit's due, right? Like, actually, no, there's no credit here. 32 gigabytes is not a lot. It's not a lot. It's really not. And, the fact that you have to buy a micro SD card, pathetic. So with LA Noire, I can't even play it really, because you need to download data with a micro SD card. And not to mention, even with physical games, they do take up space. Even though they're not digital, they do take up space. Because after with updates and putting on whatever, they all require space. So the fact that it's 32 gigabytes and it's so stupid, so second grade. Xboxes, the Xbox One starts with 500 gigabytes. So this is less than 1/10 of the storage size of the Xbox One. And even the Xbox One, 500 gigabytes is not a lot. I have a 1 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive, with it. And guess what? External hard drives, if I'm not mistaken, don't work. Because of the fact that if you want to take it a handheld mode, well, you can't have an external hard drive lugging around with you. You need to have an SD card. Like, it's ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. I've had to delete so many games off of here because of the fact that I just wanted to play. And SD cards aren't cheap. Like, I don't make a lot of money. Like, the only reason I was able to get Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS was because I had a $40 Walmart gift card, conveniently enough. Like, I can't afford all this shit. Like, they don't even have a Switch bundle with a freaking SD card. They don't even offer that. Like, remember GameCubes? They used to come with memory cards, and shit. Memory cards. Yeah, they don't put an SD card with this. They're cheap. I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm going to bring up 2 games here. Now, granted, one of them isn't out, but this is a fact that Arlo made on his channel. Now, the 2 games I'm going to bring up are, the one that's released is Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. The second one I'm bringing up is Luigi's Mansion 3. And I also fear that this is going to happen to Animal Crossing as well. Listen, this is Nintendo's next-gen system. Explain to me why Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and what we've seen from Luigi's Mansion 3, why do they look like their 3DS counterparts? These games should be totally testing everything that the Switch has to offer. The Switch is an HD system. Now, I get it. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee maybe started out as a 3DS game, and they just boosted the engine and just brought it to Switch. Whatever. But with Luigi's Mansion 3, it looks so much like a 3DS game. It looks so much like Dark Moon. Like, I get it. The cutscenes got a nice HD upgrade, HD touch, whatever. But the gameplay, it looks just like Luigi's Mansion 2. Like, how? The Nintendo Switch is so much more capable. Look at Super Mario freaking Odyssey. Look at Breath of the Wild. If these games can be such good-looking games, why can't Luigi's Mansion 3 do it? Why can't Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee do it? And I am so scared that Animal Crossing is going to do the same exact thing. That since the last game was on the 3DS, they're going to use that engine and just kind of upgrade the graphics to make it work with the Switch. I'm so scared that that's going to happen. And, I'm trying to think of other games that got the same treatment, because I know these 2 probably aren't the only ones. I can't really think of anything, but these are the only games that look just generic and bland. Or not these games, sorry. These games look good. But Luigi's Mansion 3 and Pokemon. Look at this game. Super Mario Party. It's bland. It's completely bland. It doesn't have character. It really doesn't. The overworld is kind of cool, but the boards are bland. The interface is bland. The mini-games are kind of fun, but the mini-game interface is bland. The modes are bland. Everything's so bland. And let me get out 2 other games and talk about another point about Nintendo. Hold on a second here. Let me pull out Mario Tennis Aces and Splatoon 2 with Mario Party. Where's the content? Like, I get it. These 2 games are getting steady updates. But what about this game? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And these games, why don't they have content? Mario Tennis Aces? It's a Mario Tennis game. There hasn't been one in like 3 years. How is there not a lot of content in this game? The single-player mode was boring. They said it was going to be as great as the one for the Game Boy Advance, but it was way worse. I love the story mode on the Game Boy Advance Mario Tennis. But this one is trash. I haven't even completed it because I got bored with it. Splatoon 2. Fun first-player mode, but oh my god, the multiplayer mode was lacking. They started off with like 6 maps. 6. I don't know how many they're at now, but guess what? You can only play 2 an hour. And you're paying for this now. The online, you're paying to play this game online. And you can only play 2 boards an hour. And Salmon Run, you can't even play half the time. Because Nintendo chooses when you can play Salmon Run mode. That's like saying if Call of Duty, right? You can only play Zombies mode. You can only play Blackout mode at certain hours. Imagine how much backlash Activision would get for that. But Splatoon 2, they can do it because it's Nintendo, because they can get away with it. Super Mario Party. 4 boards? Are you kidding me? 4. Every single Mario Party game has had 6 or 7 boards. But this one only has 4, and they are bland, they are generic. They are small beyond belief. They're just not fun. They're just not fun. I mean, I like this game, don't get me wrong. In fact, I actually like all of these games. But man, Super Mario Party really dropped the ball on the boards. Again! I mean, they're heading in the right direction, but man, they need to make the boards more fun. Like, holy cow. Like, So I got these games out of the way. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking, I'm trying to look at another game here for another, I don't think there's anything else. I bet a lot of people are like, when you were talking about the good games, why wasn't this one in there? Because this is a port. I love this game. I really do. But this is a port. It's not a true Switch game. It's great. They added a battle mode, a good battle mode, which should have, it should have been there from the beginning. They added new characters. Cool. They added 3 new characters, 4 new characters, whatever it was. Cool. I mean, it's cool, but a $60 game that they bundled for free with the Switch for Black Friday. This game should have been a bundle game from the beginning for $300 because of the fact that this is a port. There's no way around it. This is a port. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. It's a port. Hyrule Warriors. It's a port. Captain Toad. It's a port. New Super Mario Brothers. It's a port. There are so many ports. And they're all being released for $60. Like, I get it. People who haven't played the Wii U versions want to play the Switch versions. I get it. But $60 for a port. Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze is probably like a $30 game on the Wii U. So that should have released for $40. This game should have released for $40. Ports should release for $40 or $30. Not $60. Like, I get it. This game has some new content. Donkey Kong Country has a new Funky Kong mode. That's totally worth an extra $20. Alright, so now this game's out of the way. So now, what game should I rip on next? Okay. So now we're talking about third party, right? So thankfully, I have a wide array of third party games here. I have Disgaea 5. I have Lego The Incredibles. I have Super Bomberman R. And I have... completely through it, wow. And I have Doom. So let's talk about Doom first, right? Doom is a really good game. It's a really, really fun game. But guess what? This is a third-party game. And there's so many examples of third-party games that are good. AKA, basically, all of these games. Third parties are killing it on the Switch. I mean, they're not as great as Xbox One and PS4, but for Nintendo standards, pretty damn good. I am happy to be getting Doom and Skyrim and LA Noire and all these games that I never really got to play simply because I was a Nintendo gamer. Like, like some people are complaining about the amount. Like if you watch the Bit Block, I have a love-hate relationship with the guy, but he complains about how many third-party games we're getting on the Switch. Are you kidding me? I never get to play these games simply because of the fact that, like, I don't play. Like, I love my Xbox One, but I just like to play games on Nintendo. So it's always just been a wait-and-see approach if I'm getting these games on Nintendo. And Doom is an example of a great game that I'm happy is out on the Switch. And as for Super Bomberman R, it came out near launch. And, you know, it didn't start out great, but it improved, and it became a really good game. And with LEGO The Incredibles, it's an IP that I love. I love The Incredibles, and I like LEGO games, because I like the LEGO Harry Potter series. Which, the LEGO Harry Potter series is now out on Switch, but it's $60. I'm not buying it for $60. But, nevertheless, LEGO The Incredibles, it's a fun game. You know, and now it's down to $30. It decreased in value. And Disgaea 5, I haven't played too much, but I know a lot of people that love the Disgaea series. So, what I'm trying to get at here is that all of these games came out after Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but somehow Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is still more expensive. Because somehow Nintendo games hold their value. It's not that they hold their value, it's just that Nintendo doesn't want to decrease their value. Look at the Nintendo Switch bundle on Black Friday if you don't believe me. Alright, so the last 4 games here I have are all basically indie games. So we have Little Nightmares Complete Edition, we have Has-Been Heroes, we have Binding of Isaac, and we have Human Fall Flat. So, actually let me talk about Human Fall Flat first, get this out of the way. Human Fall Flat is released by Super Rare Games, and I think Little Nightmares... No, never mind. But no, yeah, this game was limited run, and they're doing a lot. And guess what? They're like $40. I bet if Nintendo wanted to release games like these, they'd be $60 for whatever reason. Personally, I don't get it. Let me get Binding. Okay, Binding of Isaac. First of all, this game is freaking fun. I actually really like this game, and guess what? It released for $20. And guess what? It came with a manual. It came with stuff inside. Did this game also come? No, what other game? I think it actually might have been Human Fall Flat. Yeah, Human Fall Flat came with cards. Now I get it. These are not Nintendo games, but I mean, come on. If indie developers are putting more effort into putting content and stuff into their packages to make it more worth it, you know, what else? Little Nightmares has a little pamphlet. Has-Been Heroes literally went the cheapest route ever and absolutely did nothing. But, it's crazy. The amount of stuff that these third-party and indie game developers are doing for the Switch that Nintendo aren't doing themselves. They're actually trying to put good time. Look at Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. That game was hard work. That game required effort from Ubisoft. That game looks great. It looks like it plays great. I just don't have it. But Nintendo don't even make games like that. Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I mean, Kirby Star Allies looks fun, but it looks so simple. It looks like a 3DS game. It's a simple side scroller. There's not much to say. I think the only game that's not Smash Brothers that's coming out next year, well, I mean, Smash Brothers is coming out this year, but that looks good, is Yoshi's Crafted World. That game looks really good. But other than that, I don't know. In my opinion, Nintendo's really just dropping the ball in lots of areas, and while I still love my Nintendo Switch, it's really bumming me out that Nintendo's not doing what I want them to. And I get it. Everyone has different opinions. But I haven't really gone back and played Mario Tennis Aces. I haven't really gone back and played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I've played a lot of Zelda and Mario, but even those two, that I'm out of things to do. You know, Xbox has the third-party support, where, you know, even though the first-party support is lacking, they're always getting games. And with PlayStation, God, you know, they're getting so much shit. So, I guess that's really it. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was really more of a rant video, but what else can I do? Hopefully you guys are watching my zombie series. Episode 1 is probably already out at this point, so go watch episode 1. I'm doing it premiere style, so that you guys can watch it live, which is pretty cool with me, and I can comment and all that stuff. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.